Let me shock you guys. Listen, remember that Jewish woman, Heidi, the one whose testimony I shared? She says when she saw Jesus, he appeared as a man, physical body, and his nose was crooked. Now, here's what's going to shock you about what Heidi says. She goes, his nose was crooked, but he was beautiful. He was perfect. But she couldn't understand why his nose was crooked. Guess what happened? She saw the AI-generated image of the Shroud of Turin. When she saw the AI image, she saw in that image, his nose was crooked, and she said, that's how I saw him. That's how his nose appeared to me. In other words, the Jesus she saw in the near-death experience perfectly resembled the image of the man on the Shroud of Turin. I'm going to show you that.
What's fascinating is the Shroud of Turin. There's actually new evidence that it probably was from the 1st century. And what they found is the image on the cloth actually conveys three-dimensional imagery. It's like light came out of this body and imprinted three-dimensional information onto the cloth. They don't know any technology that can make the kind of image that did. We don't have a technology like that. And so what's fascinating is because there's three-dimensional information in the cloth, they used AI to create a three-dimensional model of the person that was buried in that cloth.
Okay, now watch the nose. This is what the man looks like on the shroud. Look how beautiful and handsome. Look how fit, putting us to shame. And Jesus would be fit. You know why Jesus would be fit? Because he worked as a carpenter.
And do you know that one of the researchers, not believers, they counted 135 marks or lashes on the body of this person in the shroud.
That's what they found. I want you to hear what Heidi said to him. Listen.
Recently Heidi sent me a picture. She saw a picture of the Shroud of Turin and sent it to me.
Watch.
Saying this. There he is. Look at his nose. Fascinating. It's slightly crooked.
See?
On the image.
That's what she saw. You see his nose is crooked? You know why? From the beating. She goes, when she saw Jesus, she saw that his nose was crooked. When she saw the AI imaging, she goes, that's what I saw. Now, John Burke was like baffled. Why did Jesus appear with a crooked nose? And then they did an AI image of the Shroud of Turin. And here it is. His nose is crooked. You know why? Because Christ raised this very physical body. This is the body he took to himself, a body that was buried, and he raised and made immortal. So it makes sense that his face will look like what it looked like on earth. So here is Heidi, a Jewish girl, who saw Jesus and saw his face, and what she saw agrees with the image on the Shroud of Turin.
And she said this, gives me goosebumps and makes me so happy. Of course, when I saw him, he was grinning from ear to ear. So imagine his joyous face.